going on, Jerome's Raw, Real, Garage, Rant, and I just want to say that as a quasi-USC fan, but I'm not so hardcore of a USC fan that I won't put on the UCLA sweatshirt when talking about Gabriel Murphy, because I think Gabriel Murphy is going to be a little bit something, man. But I will say that as a quasi-USC fan, Sam Darnold was always a name that intrigued me, because I watched every single snap of his, redshirt freshman season at USC 2016. He ripped the cover off the ball. Frankly, had one of the best seasons for a college quarterback in recent memory. And if he had been eligible for the 2017 draft, I think that there could have been a chance that he would have been the first quarterback selected. Now, Mitchell Trubisky Ponder went number 2 overall. And also that was a draft with Mahomes and Deshaun Watson, blah, blah, blah. But still ended up the number 3 overall pick in 2018 by the Jets. Sort of got the piss beat out of him. Same thing in Carolina. Last year back up with the Niners. And here with the Vikings signing that 1-year, $10 million deal. It's not starter money, but it's upper echelon backup quarterback money. And he was seen as a hedge after the Vikings moved on from Kirk Cousins and bring him on in. It's like, hey, you can hold down the fort. We're probably going to draft a quarterback in April. That's exactly what the Vikings did, drafting J.J. McCarthy, highest drafted quarterback in team history. And that's basically been the storyline at camp so far, the quarterback battle. Although it's not really a battle, right? So I think coming into training camp, Darnold was QB1, firmly QB1. I think that was like 90-10 that Darnold was going to hang out of the job week 1. And then J.J. McCarthy started rising, and Darnold had some high highs, had some great throws, but overall was very uneven, looking a little bit unsure of himself. And fortunately, that's been a bit of a hallmark for Sam Darnold, where, I mean, people do discount nature. No, hold on, nurture. They discount nurture of where these quarterbacks end up. And we've made this stupid case before. Patrick Mahomes landed in KC, where he sat for a year behind Alex Smith, got to absorb and marinate all of that knowledge, working with Andy Reid, prime Travis Kelce before he got old and became a Swiftie, and then also prime Tyreek Hill, even though apparently Tyreek Hill is the number 1 player in the league. Please. But it was a perfect spot for Patrick Mahomes. Now, I made this case that if Sam Darnold had ended up where Mahomes was, by hook or by crook, I think that Sam Darnold would have won a Super Bowl with the Chiefs. Maybe not 3, but at least 1. Anyways, but I mean, Darnold, his time with the Jets, bad O-line, no weapons, Adam Gase, same thing with the Panthers, bad O-line. Had DJ Moore for a hot second. Like, when your number 1 targeted receiver in your career is Robbie Chosen Anderson, yeah. Also, Matt Rule, who actually turned out to be an NFL coaching genius. Great. Awesome, man. But overall, like, Darnold, you're sort of worried, man, because once that confidence goes. And Darnold has been a guy, you saw this a little bit at USC, but mainly in the NFL, where when things are going bad, it can just kind of snowball. Like, it seems like he doesn't compartmentalize well, and if things start off bad, things are going to get worse. And Darnold does have a tendency to throw the ball to the other team. Sort of is what it is, but tools-wise, he's got a great arm, he's got good size, got great mobility, and he could and should be a guy that could definitely do something with the Vikings. And also, I think we said this before, his year with the Niners last year, going to the Super Bowl, but in a similar offense of what's going to be asked to him, under center, play action, boot action, thrown over the middle of the field accurately, that's going to matter, right? But concerning, because J.J. McCarthy, of course, he's the future, he's the chosen one. And, frankly, J.J. McCarthy, the first 7 practices of training camp, looked better than Sam Darnold. And even though McCarthy had been operating exclusively with the 2s, sometimes against the first-team defense, there had been some controversy. So because McCarthy, it looked like he was confident and competent, and he could get the job done. And Darnold, I was concerned, man, because, again, uneven performances, first 7 practices. You're thinking, okay, here we go. Darnold's going to get punched in the mouth and then just going to sort of roll over. McCarthy's going to take over, and that's all she wrote, right? Darnold's be the backup quarterback. But then Friday rolled around, and I respect the hell out of what Sam Darnold did. I'm very proud of Sam Darnold, the pride of USC, because he fought on. That's exactly what he did, because with all of this swirling around him, he's been playing bad. McCarthy's been playing good. Fans clamoring, barbarians at the gates. Play JJ. Proud of JJ. Every single incompletion, interception, bad play that Darnold was going to have is going to be dissected and is going to be booed. But Darnold, respect, man, came into Friday's practice and had his best practice of training camp and basically just said, F you to all the haters, man. And there's a lot of them, right? And also the fact that, like, Kevin O'Connell said that, hey, J.J. McCarthy is going to start getting some first-team reps, and J.J. did get a pair of red zone first-team reps. So Darnold basically internalized this like, okay, you're coming for me? You're coming for my job? Please, please. And even though Flores' defense was definitely on point and they were bringing heat, and Darnold was a little bit uneven at the beginning of practice, there was some throws there, man, that just said, F you. I mean, that cover two buster against Jordan Addison, the touchdown to Addison, the deep shot to Jefferson, finding Johnny Munt off the scramble drill in the back of the end zone, that is elite tier 1 level stuff, and you love to see it. And despite sort of a sluggish start, he had his best practice of training camp, and I think that he can build on that. And frankly, it always comes down to optics, right? And even though there's been fans there for a week, night practice on Monday is what's really going to matter, as well as preseason games, because it's just different when you actually just see it in a game situation, even though Monday's night practice is just a practice. Talk about practice. But I'm glad that he's coming around. And I think that this was a good hurdle because, again, if he had just collapsed and just sort of fumbled this opportunity away, I don't think anyone would have blamed him. It'd be like, oh, yeah, that's what Sam Darnold does. He just crumples under pressure, crumples under competition, and that's what happens, man. But again, I'm super proud that he rose up because if you think about it, like, McCarthy's looked good. I mean, McCarthy didn't look great on Friday, but, you know, fits and starts. But overall, he's improving every single day, right? And he's going to be the future. He's the future here. But if you're Sam Darnold, you can come in and have a phenomenal season. Like, you can have a Geno Smith 2022. You can have a Baker Mayfield 2023 type season. It could be Sam Darnold 2024. And you can get paid somewhere else, and the Vikings could tag and trade you or get a comp pick or whatever. But this is for your money, man. As we said, Darnold, if he can't succeed here with Jefferson, Addison, eventually Hockenson, Darius, Brian O'Neill, Aaron Jones, as well as Kevin O'Connell, he's not going to succeed anywhere. All right, so I'm glad that he stepped up. And I mean, this thing was trending towards maybe a 50-50 toss-up between him and J.J. McCarthy. But if he plays the way that he played on Friday, I think that he's going to be the week 1 starter. Now, will he still have that pressure behind him, whether from the fans or even from Kevin O'Connell? If J.J. McCarthy champing at the bit, if Darnold looks bad early on, yes. Yes, he'll have that. But guess what? He knew that was going to be the gig coming in, right? So you got to deal with that pressure. And frankly, I think that he could thrive from that pressure. If he responds from in the regular season with McCarthy behind him the way that he did from the slow start in training camp on Friday, yes. I think that Darnold could hang on to the job a long time. I think that Darnold could get paid somewhere else because, I mean, look at next year's quarterback class. Like, there isn't any tier 1 prospects that you're really writing home about. It's not like this year, but long ways to go, obviously. But either way, I'm proud of Sam Darnold. He definitely fought on and overcame a little bit of adversity. I think it says a lot about him. And when all the chips were down, he stood out and had a dynamite performance against a very damn good defense. That gets lost in the soup, man. Flores is definitely bringing that heat, that hot sauce. I love it, man. I love it, man. But also especially love that Darnold's stepping up because, hey, Darnold good, McCarthy good. That's the best possible scenario for the Vikings to have. But that's it. Raw, real rant. Proud of Sam Darnold. Skol. No production value.